We're in single boxes mostly, and we need to know, is it time to put a super on? There's several indicators that before you even open up a hive, you might be able to answer the question. One is we've got a bunch of bees hanging out on the porch, so that may mean they're crowded, it may not, it may just mean they're hot. Let's lift the box and answer that. Okay, that box is fairly heavy. We're probably 50 pounds, so my guess is from two clues. Bees are on the outside, the box is really heavy, we're past time for a super. Let's open it up and see. And put a little smoke on them. All 10 frames in here are full. Without even taking the frame out, I can see down in between them that they're full. So it's past time to put a super on. This one we're a little bit too late. And we know that the linden trees were just in bloom right now, so we've probably missed some honey. How much is a good guess, but let's super this hive right now. I know an old beekeeper said he's never had any bees put honey in a super in the warehouse. You've got to have them in the bee yard on the box to do it. So timing is very important. You need to know your nectar flows in your area. If you're new to beekeeping, you don't know those things. So it takes a little while to get up to speed. That's why you go to the bee clubs. That's why you ask questions by other beekeepers locally to find out when the build-up times are, when's the best time to put a super on. Definitely put a super on before you go on vacation. If you don't, definitely put the super on as soon as you get back from vacation. We don't want to miss honey, and or worse, we don't want to miss honey and have the bees swarm because they were too crowded. So this box is too crowded right here. We are a little bit late with the super. This frame was put in about a week ago. An empty, foundationless middle bar frame. They're 3/4 of the way done with it. So what I want to do now is I want to take a box, 10 frame, and I'm going to stagger these every other one. So there's a frame of brood. Hold it a sec. This time of year it's hot, so I'm not worried about breaking up the brood chamber. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to take frames out of the bottom box. That's got brood, open brood, and sealed over brood. There's eggs and larvae, and I'm not going to worry too much about keeping the brood chamber together. I'm just going to space these every other one. These aren't going to have to work hard at all to keep the incubation temperature where it needs to be, so I'm not going to worry about it. So, empty frame, frame of drawn comb. Empty frame, full frame. Empty, full, empty, full. That'll ensure that the empty frames get built upon in a straight fashion, so we don't have this kind of thing going on right here. We got them building off the foundation, or off the outside of the frame, as the case may be. So in order to prevent that, we'll give them a parallel obstacle on either side. That'll keep them going in a straight line. Okay, there's my super. Now I'll come back here. I'm going to have to rearrange some of this comb. I modified this hive tool so it cuts a little better. It's easy to deal with comb. You may like that if, no matter if you're keeping bees in a top bar hive or foundationless frames in a Langstroth. If you are using foundationless frames for cut comb, if you like to cut out the queen cell, that point on the hive tool comes in pretty handy. So that's mostly brood there. I'm going to put it in a middle bar frame. Yes, that smashes a little bit of brood there when I do that, but I saved most of it, and now we've got it going straight. So there's mostly empty frame. I'll move over, move another frame over. Straighten that out a bit. Once you have these straight, then the work's over. It's a little bit of maintenance initially, but once you've got them going a straight line, then you're not so, it's not so time consuming. So it looks like we got to this colony in time, even though they've been bearding on the outside and they're full. There's no swarm cells. I can still see eggs and all ages of larvae in there, pupa. So we got here in time. We should have been here a little bit earlier, but we're okay. So when the bees have filled up most of the frames, maybe we have the 9th and 10th frame that they're just starting to work on, that's a good time for super. If our concern is we don't want to give the bees too much space, if they'll have trouble maintaining the temperature, then if we think in terms of doubling the brood chamber, doubling the amount of space with supers, then that's about right. What we don't want to do is think that, well, I don't want my bees to swarm, and so I'm just going to stack all my supers on and put 3, 4, 5 supers on, whatever, at the beginning of the summer, and just let them go. The bees won't build out. They'll build in a chimney fashion if you do that, and especially with the middle bar frame, they could get off track in a hurry if you're not watching them carefully. So don't give them more space than they need, one super at a time, okay? Double the space at a time until they filled that up, then do it again.